He's here to share their vision for an AI-powered platform that helps small-scale farmers manage agricultural risks. So let's give him a warm welcome. Thank you so much.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I have one question. Who here loves rice? Medyo sad ako kanina kasi walang rice doon. But anyway, I wanted to meet a friend. Her name is Miss Tina. Miss Tina is an agribusiness owner who owns a 100-hectare farm in Nueva Ecija, who currently manages 30 full-time agricultural workers. For a business owner like Miss Tina, she values three things. She values time, costs, and efficiency. Looking at it in a more practical example, for 1 kilogram of rice seeds, she would have to pay $35 as capital. On a good day, this can turn into more than 2,000 cups of rice. Sarap, di ba? And then after that, from that on, she is able to get a gross profit of $490 from that $35 initial investment times 14. That's crazy. But then at the same time, when you account for the costs, her net profit is $100. That's perfect. But this is another thing. As you all know, agri is such a volatile and risky business. There are three main risks drivers that are really faced by these agri businesses today. First one are crop diseases like the Tumoro virus. We have heat waves that really impact the irrigation and the flow of farming in the Philippines, and at the same time, pest infestation. How they would usually and traditionally manage this is these farmers would just look at the thing and they're like, oh, there's something wrong with that. Or, oh, the pests are already infecting it. But the problem is, you're only preventing the 20% of what could have been prevented by the 80%. The main point being, you cannot see from your naked eye the risks as it starts. That is why it actually impacts $264 million of agricultural loss annually with a 30% loss of potential yield because you're not able to have these real-time data and information managed for them. So what if we build a world where harvest is left to no chance? Introducing Agriconnect. It's AI that helps these rice companies manage the risks through AI and IoT. The solution is simple, three things. First is to collect data from multispectral smart sensors. Looking at it, it can detect three things. They can detect soil moisture, water level, and pests and insects. From the data that will be collected here, it will be sent to our app. The AgriConnect app acknowledges that these agribusiness owners may not be the most technical people. That is why we want to make it more intuitive and user-friendly through a stoplight mechanism to show them exactly what to act on immediately. So if it's red, it means they need to act on the inside ASAP. Yellow, they need to become more alert and be more careful. And if it's green, they can move onto it as normal. And we do see that from this on, the agribusiness owners can get to really show these farmers what to do next so that they can act on it even if they're not on site in the farm. So we see this in a market that's growing, especially in Asia. As I've said, this is the target market. We love rice, is it? But then more on that, we do see the potential in the Philippines with a 5.3 billion US dollar volume by 2028. And we plan to target these business owners, rice farming businesses in the country. And when we look at the current value chain in the Philippines, we do see that the biggest bottleneck is crop production. It's very volatile, and there are a lot of loss that can be attributed here. That is why AgriConnect perceives itself to be integrated into this part of the value chain in order for us to optimize input use, increase the yield, and have quick interventions to make sure that we make the most out of the crops that they produce. We also see an impact projection here, a twofold projection. For the agribusiness, they're able to lessen their costs and optimize their yield, but at the same time, it trickles down to the farmers, where they are able to lessen the complexity and lessen the time that they take in order for them to crop and harvest. That will make them 2 times more efficient. Everyone wins in AgriConnect. When you look at it, this is our business model. It's going to be very much a subscription-based model where we have a partner from Cebu that will be more than willing to give their IoT sensors. From then on, we will produce the software of this, and they subscribe per hectare per month. From small scale business to larger scale business, we can really show that AgriConnect is not just there, it's not a help, it's also a way for you to scale with your business. From the small to the biggest one, we're here for you. And we do see that amongst the current competitors that we have in the Philippines, we stand out in three of the most important aspects. Number one, supply chain integration. We do perceive that in the end of things, we're able to have an end-to-end integration of the rice supply chain in the Philippines. Second of which is the data-driven decisions. As compared to other competitors that just focus on data, we only not only get the data, but we also interpret and give them actionable insights as fast as possible. And then third, support and scalability. As mentioned, we don't only focus on small scale or large scale, we scale with them through the process, and we are there every step of the way. And just, oh my gosh. Soj, my name is Soj. I'm from Ateneo, currently senior team of communications technology management. My journey in startups only started 3 months ago, 87 days ago to be exact, as I was one of the 7 students from the Philippines who went to the National University of Singapore's venture creation program. And the team, currently I'm alone, so quote unquote team. But then I do have a 5-year experience in this space after being in NUS, as I've said, also having an internship that helps true farmers manage their risks in Vietnam through Forte Biotech. And I'm also an Ilocano from Ilocos Norte, so I have families and relatives that have always been part of this sector and are truly close to my heart. From then on, also, I went on to pitch my idea to EMC and TechShake Asia. We actually won second prize out of 100 plus entries, and I'll be flying in Tokyo in February to really show the impact of this tech, as they've seen that the problem I'm solving is a problem that's worth solving also in Japan. At the same time, I was also one of 20 entrepreneurs worldwide who went to the Emerging Giants Summit, Startup Summit in Sydney, where I also got to pitch my idea about startups, about Agriconnect and agri-tech, and being able to be one of the 15 climate-led enterprises chosen by UNDP and Youth Collab to be part of making changes and ways of sustainability in the country. In terms of traction, in the 28 days that I've been working on this startup, I've interviewed 40 people from 3 different islands in the Philippines. I interviewed cooperatives, agri companies, and individual farmers to really get a holistic idea of what they want. And out of these 40, 95% showed great interest in AgriConnect. More than that, I just got word yesterday that I'm going to be incubated in Ateneo Blue Nest for the capabilities and the potential of my idea. And I currently have a working prototype to show, and I plan to roll out this MVP as soon as possible. And I'll be pitching also in the Philippine Startup Week to present this same idea in the hopes to really expand and really flourish in that network of agri-tech. So at the end of this all, one thing I want to keep in mind is here. I have 3 asks. Number one, I need a co-founder. It's really hard to do this all on your own when you're studying. So I want someone that really could help me in the agri-tech space. At the same time, if investors, hello, $10,000 US for really the core research and development of the AI mechanisms and of course the deployment, and at the same time the legalities to make sure that from the very start I'm able to protect this product to really help out who is in need, and that is the agri companies trickling down to the farmers. So if you were to take away one thing from this whole pitch, I hope that you know that the end goal is no harvest is left to chance, and we can do that by strategic insights for resilient harvests. All to be made possible by AgriConnect. Thank you.
All right, there you have it.